Good afternoon, students. Today we will continue with our revision work of the lesson The Gupta Empire. As we have already completed the lesson of the Gupta Empire, but today we are going to do revision work of the Gupta Empire. So, Gupta Empire, Golden Age, the first topic of your book, which is there in the portion you have to study, Golden Age. Why it is called as a Golden Age, Gupta period? As after the fall of the Mauryan Empire, there were several foreign tribes which invaded India. The Kushan rulers Kanishka established a large and powerful empire in northern India. In south, an independent and powerful kingdom was also established by the Satavahanas. The decline in the power of Kushans and Satavahanas was followed by a period of political chaos. Political chaos means political disturbances. People were not living in a well administrative environment. Everything was unstable, and for more than 100 years, India was fragmented, means distributed into numerous small kingdoms and republics. So, by the beginning of 4th century, there was a huge change noticed. These kingdoms and republics were started to get united under an imperial rule of the Guptas and Gupta dynasty for nearly 200 years. The history of India was dominated by the powerful and highly efficient and accomplished Gupta rulers. Some historians have described the Gupta period as the Golden Age. This was the main reason of the ancient Indian history. There are certain sources of the Gupta period. The history of the Gupta Empire has been reconstructed on the basis of several resources. Valuable information about the Gupta era. First is literary source. Second is archaeological source. These two topics you have to read it. Kalidasa's work Abhijana Shakuntalam and Meghaduta, Fahian's accounts, and archaeological certain resources are there. So put tick mark and underline it, read these all. Political history of Chandragupta I you have to study. Chandragupta I, the first important ruler of Gupta dynasty. He ascended the throne at Magadha in 320 Common Era. Underline it. He married Kumara Devi, a princess of a powerful Lichachahavi tribe of Vaishali, and was given Patliputra as dowry. So these were certain matrimonial alliances through which many kingdoms were taken by the Gupta rulers. Then came Samudragupta, who ascended the throne after death of the father Chandragupta I. And he was one of the greatest rulers in India. His expansion's history also we have studied at how he expanded his kingdom and his power till south. Samudragupta followed a policy of conquest and expansion. As in the north, he occupied Aryavrata, Western Uttar Pradesh, and the regions around Delhi. These territories were added to his empire and ruled directly by him. Next, he led an expedition to the Deccan and he reached as far as in south. In south, he defeated the Pallava capital of Kanchi. The Pallava king realized he could not face Samudragupta alone. So he formed a powerful confederacy of kings of South India. Under his leadership, Samudragupta had to face a powerful alliance with the southern kingdoms. Samudragupta thus defeated the confederacy but did not annex the kingdom. He actually made them realize to accept his power, accept his administration, and thus the rulers of the south accepted him as their overlord and paid him the tribute. Yearly tribute was given to him. So the frontier states of eastern and western India meekly submitted to, you can tell easily they submitted to Samudragupta without any fight because they knew the power of Samudragupta. Next, the topic which you are Ashwamedha Yajna, through which he celebrated his victories. His direct control was expanded to from Bengal in the east. Today, underline it. Samudragupta's direct rule was expanded. Next page, you turn it, page 94. Samudragupta's direct rule extended from Bengal in the east to Delhi in the west, and from Himalayas in the north to the Narmada in the south. This is the expansion, his direct rule, from where to where he ruled. And indirect rule means the places where have accepted him as their overlord. Samudragupta, like south, the states covered with much larger area, and directly he was not controlling, administering it, but they accepted, but made them accept him as the overlord. Now Chandragupta II also you have to study. Chandragupta II, also known as Chandragupta Vikramaditya, underline it, was the able son of an able father. Like his father Samudragupta, he was a powerful ruler. The Gupta Empire reached the height of its power and glory during his reign. He strengthened his position through matrimonial alliances. He married the daughter of a powerful Naga ruler. He gave his daughter in marriage to Vakataka ruler in Deccan, from whom he got valuable help during his campaigns against the Sakas. So Chandragupta II also extended his empire, the western boundaries of his empire, to Arabian Sea by defeating the Saka ruler. This was a very important victory because it gave the Guptas control over the three great seaports on the western coast. These were the outlets to vast overseas trade. This led to the economic growth and prosperity. He moved his capital to Ujjain. Next, later Guptas, you only read it for understanding, but questions will not be asked from this topic. Later Guptas, from administration part, it will not be asked. From economic condition part, it will not be asked. And from the page number 97, art and architecture part will not be asked. Okay, so these topics are deleted and other topics are there. From there the question will be asked. So the features of the golden age we will come directly. Administration, questions will not be asked, only reading part is there for your understanding. Very well established administration they have, very proper planning was there. There were certain economic conditions in which agriculture was given a top priority, and textile industry and other crafts were highly developed in this region. Religious life, you have to study of this. Gupta king were staunch followers of Hinduism. They worshipped Lord Vishnu and were therefore called Vaishnavas. They performed religious sacrifices like the Ashwamedha Yajna. Temples were built during their reign and idol worship was popular. A striking feature of religious life of the people was with the growing popularity of the Bhakti movement, which believed in selfless devotion to God. As this religious practice was inexpensive and simple, it gained a mass popularity, means a huge popularity it got among the people. The Guptas encouraged revival of Hinduism, religious tolerance. Buddhist University of Nalanda was patronized by the Gupta rulers. Many people were also the followers of Jainism. Scientific progress. Aryabhatta and Varamihira were great mathematicians and astronomers. Aryabhatta found solutions to many problems in arithmetic, algebra and geometry. He discovered that the earth moves round the sun. He also found out the causes of the lunar and the solar eclipses. India's first space satellite has been named in honor of this great scientist. Varamihira explained planetary movements and astronomical phenomena and deduced important mathematical theories. So the Vagabhatta's also inventories you will study. System of numericals was first used, later adopted by improved by Arabs also. Concept of zero, decimal system all entered. Are India's great contribution to mathematics. Iron pillar at Mehrauli is one of the advanced science of metallurgy. Highly, it is seen from its inventions. So these all you have to read. Cultural life, literature part you have to read. We have already read. There's just a revision part. In literature, the Gupta rulers made Sanskrit as the court language. Playwrights, poets, philosophers, grammarians. Kalidasa also, whose works included famous play of Abhijana Shakuntalam, an epic poem of Meghaduta. The Panchatantra was compiled and the Puranas were rewritten, and Mahabharata was revised and rewritten. Sudraka's Michakatika was also written during this period. Okay. So art and architecture questions will not come. Only read for understanding. Questions will not come from art and architecture part. Which part is deleted? Today in the worksheet I will give you which topics are not there. Okay. I will write from the Gupta Empire. These topics are not there. Okay. That is later Guptas, administration, economic condition, art and architecture. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 topics are not there. One is later Guptas, second is administration, economic condition, art and architecture. 4 topics are deleted from this lesson. Okay. Then education is there. Education you have to read. Last topic. The Gupta encouraged education, learning, liberal grants were given. Liberal, that means some free grants of low cost. Some grants were given to the educational institutions, support given to the educational institutions. Their great contribution was the establishment of the university at Nalanda, which became very famous during the Harsha's reign in 7th century Common Era. Nalanda's universities richness, you can read medicine, astronomy, grammar, philosophy and Vedic literatures were certain subjects which were taught there. So India reached its, why it is called India Gupta period as a golden period. Here also in the last you can see that India reached its height and its power of glory under the Guptas only. Politically the country was united under a strong stable government. Economically the country was rich and prosperous, and culturally it achieved extraordinary heights of artistic brilliance. It was indeed the golden age of ancient Indian history. So why was Gupta period called a golden age in Indian history? This small paragraph, you will get the answer from here. Okay, though I will also give you the answer, but this is the perfect answer you can get from the book also. So India reached the height of its power and glory under the Gupta, politically, administrative, and educationally also it became strong. The country was rich and prosperous, and culturally it achieved extraordinary heights of artistic brilliance. And if culturally it is gaining height, that means education is in a height, and it was indeed the golden age of the ancient Indian history. Today you will get inside some fill in the blanks I will give, which is from your topic of the Gupta period. Which is from your topic of the Gupta period. Those topics, short fill in the blanks inside questions I will give you. From the golden age, from sources topic, archaeological sources, literary sources, political history of Chandragupta 1, Samudragupta, Chandragupta 1, Samudragupta and Chandragupta 2. Then I will give you religious life, then scientific progress, then you will get from education topic. Short questions I will give you. Fill in the blanks. You solve it. It will be your practice worksheet. Okay. Thank you students. We will meet in the next class with revision work of your previous lessons. Okay. Revision work will be going on. Okay. With your lessons. Your portion is over. New chapters are taught. That was your urban local self-government over. Full complete. Gupta Empire fully complete. Question answers are given. Today only revision work we are doing. Next class we will go to the previous lessons which is in your annual portion. Those lessons revision work will be done. Okay students, thank you.